Once upon a time, there was a really great Italian brand that many decades ago won a lot of fans because they delivered cars which had the kind of spirit that you didn't normally find in cars of their size and technical format. That brand is back again with something that rekindles memories of what made it great in the past.
The Giulia represents like a velvet punch. It's like Versace on a raging bull. It's Alfa Romeo kind of just bursting in, into the scene and just re-establishing the pecking order of what a sports sedan should be.
It's sexy, it's powerful, it's well balanced. There's so many beautiful sensualities with it. Like, it gets you excited to drive again.
If you just want one car in this test that will have you getting up in the wee small hours of the morning, looking for the squiggliest road on the map and pointing the nose of your car at it, it's always going to be the Giulia.
This car is the return of a great driving Italian luxury car.
It represents a return to form from an Italian company that pretty much invented the sports sedan in the 1960s with the original 105 series Giulia.
It's so quick in its steering that it just requires a tiny little roll of your hands to turn the car into a corner.
To me, that's a little taste of Ferrari. Ferrari in recent years have done incredibly quick steering that is incredibly precise, and you get a very good flavour of that driving the Alfa.
There's not a dud engine in the Giulia, but they get better the further up you move in the range. The base car, it outpunches most of its direct rivals, and it's a sweet engine. It drives really nicely. But really the Veloce with the higher powered version of that 2-litre turbo, that is to me the sweet spot in the range. If you want all out grunt, then the Quadrifoglio is a ripper of an engine. It is such a flexible engine across the rev range. You get real hints of Ferrari in the way that engine boosts up from such low revs, but still loves to be thrashed.
It represents a wide bandwidth of propositions. You've got the $60,000 base car, which feels like an $80,000 car inside, rising up to the QV.
And it's almost like they design it from the top level and then work their way down, instead of getting essentially a core car and then adding onto it.
In the Quadrifoglio, the way that the torque builds, that's pure Ferrari tech.
It's the loudest car that we have in the Finalists, and it's the kind of sound that you just turn on. It's like Viva Italia.
I would probably love to take the Quadrifoglio through the Snowy Mountains, where you could wind the windows down and listen to the bark of that quad exhaust out the back, the rasp and the brap when it upshifts. It's got 8 gears to upshift through, so there's plenty of gears. And even in race, which is the one that gives all the exhaust, it says ESC off, but it actually still has a safety net in there to catch. The Veloce and the models below, you can't turn that stuff off. And so when you would be really hammering like that, you'd probably miss out on a little bit of what that chassis can really deliver, and it's so much.
Not only is it a stonkingly great drive, but it provides a level of comfort and refinement that puts it in a league of its own.
The driving position is just about perfect.
They've done a phenomenal job making this car look not only different to the competition, but a real standout car on the road.
I think what's amazing about the Giulia is it brings elements of Ferrari, and at first you can say, well, this is obviously marketing bull at its finest, but drive the car and you understand it.
You just got to sit in it, look at the really sexy push button start that's on the steering wheel, and then you look at the shift paddles, which are made from aluminium and mounted to the steering columns. They always stay where you want them to be.
The dash architecture, the eyeball air vents, that steering wheel with the start button on it, love it, love it, love it.
Even the base model has genuine leather on the seats. The steering wheel is really nice. It feels premium. It feels the 66 grand or so that it costs.
The Giulia is not without its flaws, but on the other hand, it's got such strength of character and it's such a delightful car to drive.
Where the Alfa really stands head and shoulders above the rest is when it comes to driver appeal and making the driver feel special. And whether you like driving or not, that really has to count for something when you're going to spend quite a bit of money on a luxury sedan.